What's poppin', world? I hope all is well. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, go ahead and click that bell so you get notification every time I go live and anytime I post a video. If you've been here before and you know I'm about to put that fire out, go ahead and hit that like button so we can get to the algorithm and more people can see this content. Let's get into this. Today, I want to talk about a topic that most people usually veer away from, right? A lot of people have different takes on this topic, but we're going to break it all the way down. The question for today is this: is it his or her job to make you happy? Is it his or her job to make you happy? Now, who am I referring to? I'm referring to your spouse, your significant other, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, or maybe someone you're seriously talking to, right? Is it their job to make you happy? Now, before you answer that question, I want you to look at it like this. Whenever you go in and you apply for a job or a career, right, there is a specific task that management team is looking for you to execute, right? Whatever it may be. There is a task that they are looking for you to execute. Now, if you're not able to execute that task, you're going to get fired, right? Because you are not doing your job. Now, ask that question again. Is it his or her job to make you happy? Meaning, if they don't execute this, say, task that you're expecting them to do, if this is a task that you would expect them to do if you're with them, right? If you bond with them, are they fired? Are they fired, right? Now, is it his or her job to make you happy? Would you be with someone who does not make you happy in some way, shape, or form? Would you be with them long term, right? Now, you tune into this video for a reason. So you want to know what I think, right? You want to know my thoughts on this. Here it is. It is absolutely that person's job to make you happy. It is absolutely that person's job to make you happy. Let me break it down. Now, I'm not talking about in a superficial way, right? I'm not talking about you want this house, these cars, these vacations, this jewelry, all this superficial stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about somebody out here simping, right? Meaning they're doing things for someone, but they're not getting a equal value exchange in return, right? Right? That's simple. When you doing stuff for somebody, you giving, and you ain't getting an equal value exchange, right, in return. That's simping. I'm not talking about simping. Now, I ain't talking about none of that BS. I'm talking about straight up, I do for you, you do for me. That's what I'm talking about. It goes both ways. It goes both ways. Now, some people are going to say, you should come into a relationship or a marriage, you should already be happy. Let's be real. If you surveyed all the single people out here, majority of them are going to say that they're not happy, right? Here's what I mean by that. I don't mean you're able to, say, take care of yourself. You know, you like your job, you like your career, you're cool with the car you're driving, you like the neighborhood or the house you live in, you're in a good financial situation. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about deep down inside. Are these singles happy? Deep down inside. Not all the fronting. A lot of people like to flaunt and say they doing this and they doing that and they happy, but deep down inside, they really not. I'm here to have a real conversation. Most singles are not happy deep down inside, through and through. It's been proven that being financially stable does not equate to happiness. It's been proven that being in good health does not equate to happiness. It's been proven that having people around you like family, friends, co-workers who love you, it's been proven that that does not equate to happiness, right? It's been proven that being at a job or career you like, that does not equate to happiness, right? It's been proven that all these individuals, it's been proven that taking vacations left and right does not necessarily equate to happiness, right? So many of these things that individuals like to say that they're out here doing, and this is good and that's good, these things do not necessarily equate to happiness. They don't. Let's just keep it real. These things don't equate to happiness, right? It's not an absolute. But when you bond with someone in some way, shape, or form, you're looking for that person, even if it's by default, to bring you happiness or to make you happy, right? However you want to frame it. That's what you're looking for. If you got with someone and how you felt emotionally just stayed the same, eventually you're going to not want to be with that person. You're going to probably cut them off. Now, some people stay in those situations, but a lot of times they veer off mentally and they wish they was with someone else or even alone, right? So it's been proven that people overwhelmingly want to be with others who bring or make them happy in some way, shape, or form, even if it's by default, right? Even if it's by default. Now, you have a lot of people saying that as an individual, you should be complete by yourself. They say as an individual, you should be complete by yourself. Now, it depends on how you break that down, right? Are you complete mentally? Are you complete emotionally? Are you complete physically? Are you complete spiritually, right? Are you complete financially? Are you complete in these different areas? Most single people are not. They're going to lack somewhere, right? And it's going to help if someone else comes in and maybe helps them with that area that they're lacking in, right? That could be with finances. Things could be tight all the time because this is a crazy economy. Things could be tight. And if you had that spouse or that whoever, it could be a lot better for you, right? You could be weak spiritually, right? Your relationship with God or whoever you pray to, whatever the case may be, or your view on life in general, your spirit could be weak, right? Because you don't have a clear vision of how things are and how they should be and how God wants us to move. You could be lost in that. You could be lost in that. You could be weak mentally by yourself. You know, none of us have all the answers, right? So you might need that other person to come in and you guys can bounce ideas off each other and grow and flourish together off of those ideas, right? And helping each other, right? You could be weak physically. Maybe you're someone who, you know, maybe needs to work out, lose weight, get stronger, eat healthy, whatever the case may be. You might need the other person to come in and say, hey, I need motivation or I need guidance on this. I need help with this, right? So you could be weak physically, right? Sexually, right? You by yourself, hey, you might get that itch every once in a while. That's causing you to move a certain way and kind of be irrational because you're not fulfilled sexually, right? There are many ways that one could be deemed as not complete because they're by themselves, right? Remember, God put us here to be with each other, right? Even if you tap into Genesis 2:18, when God made Eve out of Adam's rib and said, I created her to be a suitable helper, right? A helpmate, right? And he says, no man should be alone, right? This is biblical if you go biblical with it, right? But we're not meant to be alone. Now, I'm not saying you can't be alone and do well and flourish and all that. You can. But that's not how God intended it to be. But back to what I was saying. Is it his or her job to make you happy? Absolutely. Right? But that goes both ways. That goes both ways because most people are not going to be with someone who is not bringing them happiness in some way, shape, or form. Let's be real, right? And again, as I broke all that stuff down in regards to individualism, which is a huge part of the problem, We have a society and the economy that's pushing this individualism, right? You can do it by yourself. You don't need nobody. Go hard, grind. This independence, right? The society is pushing this, and a lot of people going out sad. A lot of people doing bad, even though they got assets and this, that, and the third. They got degrees, they got all this. But it's a lot of people out here low key doing bad and struggling. And there's a lot of people who ain't happy on the inside, right? They're not happy. It look like it from the outside. They good. They taking trips. They doing all this stuff. They getting the body work done, all this stuff. Deep down inside, they not happy though. They getting all the likes and all of this. They getting the DMs. They getting the inboxes. But they not happy. They not happy, right? And that's men and women. So again, is it his or her job to make you happy? I say absolutely. Absolutely. You don't want to bond with someone who can't bring you some type of happiness. You're not going to want to bond with them. I say as individuals, you should come into a relationship neutral. I'm not saying you should come in happy. A lot of times that's not realistic. You shouldn't be below happy. You shouldn't be depressed and have all this trauma. No, you need to work on your traumas if you got all that trauma, right? You need to work on that trauma if you're below neutral, if you're below average, right? Emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially. You got to work on that stuff, yeah. But you should come in neutral, being able to at least take care of yourself. But coming in happy, that may not necessarily be realistic. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not saying come in at the bottom. I'm not saying that. But you should be at a neutral point where you're all right. You know what I'm saying? Come in happy, that may not be realistic. You see what I'm saying? There's levels to it. But I say you should come in neutral. And when you bond with that special person, that's going to bring forth the happiness. Now, you can be happy by yourself. I'm not saying you can't be happy by yourself. I'm not saying that. You can be. You can be. But in most cases, you're more so on that neutral level. You're good. You're all right. You're taking care of business. But I'm not going to say you're happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to automatically put you happy just because you're doing well. That doesn't necessarily mean you're happy. Just because you're doing well doesn't mean you're happy. But that's all I'm saying, guys. And another thing, for those who argue against this and say, no, they have to, no, it ain't my job, it ain't this person's job, no, you got to come have it. There's two cases. This is two reasons why most individuals will feel that way. Let me give you two reasons. For one, either you suck at making others happy. Maybe you suck at making your significant other. Maybe you're lazy. Maybe you don't know what to do, right? Maybe you just ain't the one. That's one case, right? Number two, maybe you're currently with someone or have been with someone in the past who is just unappreciative, right? There's nothing you can do to please this person. There's nothing you can do to make this person happy. If that's the case, I understand your sentiment. Oh no, they got to make this happen because you just throwing in the towel. I can understand that. In that case, go ahead and cut them off. If you with someone who is unappreciative in everything you do, or no matter what you do, right? They're not happy. They don't care. They just complaining, right? Right? They moping around. Cut them off, because that might be the case, right? But that does not dissolve the fact that it is your job on both ends, male and female, to make each other happy, right? Whether it's fulfilling certain duties, whether it's sexually, whether it's financially, whether it's mentally, doing things that's stimulating, whether it's spiritually. But in some way, shape, or form, you should be making each other happy, right? On both ends. It is that person's job to make you happy on both ends. It is. It is. But that's all I got for you guys. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to the YouTube. Also, leave a comment in the comment section. I can be off. If you're watching this on Facebook, consider subscribing to the YouTube channel, Speaks the Beast. If you're watching this on YouTube, consider following me on Instagram, Speaks the Beast. But guys, we got to get this right. Put in effort. Stop being lazy. Get someone who has a genuine desire for you. Get away from those who don't. Get with someone who has a genuine desire for you. But that's all I got for you guys. I love you all. Be blessed.